agricultural price policy. So what is agricultural price policy? Very simple. Government announces prices like MSP, procurement price of selected commodities, agriculture commodities. To mention this, under this, government announces support prices, like MSP and procurement prices, MSP and procurement prices for selected agricultural commodities. For selected agricultural commodities. So government announced MSP for selected price or procurement price for selected commodities. So why government announce prices? What is objective of this policy? Why MSP is announced? Why procurement price announced? To reduce volatility? Would reduce volatility or not? Like if price may be very low in market, so government may buy at a higher price, or MSP will ensure this thing. Any other? Reduce volatility. Would it give incentive? Would protect farmer from unforeseen losses, so farmers will be protected. Okay, so protection means to supplement income of farmer also. Other, food inflation will be controlled. The food security, the production will be stabilized or not, because farmer will be sure that at least MSP I will get. So farmer will not be apprehensive of growing this crop. In this case of MSP for a specific crop, the government want to encourage production of some crop, government may increase MSP. So cropping pattern could be regulated. Any other? Food, to protect consumers' interest. So that is actually consumers' interest related with food inflation. So consumers will be able to buy at reasonable prices. So can we say it is almost similar to fertilizer, subsidies? Yes. So objectives are almost same as subsidies which we have discussed. Same as objectives of subsidy. Same as objectives of subsidy. But here we can sometime we may make modification, like here there we said food inflation, here we may say protect interest of consumers, but both are almost same. And the protecting interest of consumers, like so that actually consumers should get a reasonable price. So it means that they so in subsidy usually we say food inflation, here we may say consumer price, but both are almost same thing. I think got the point. So in price policy actually the objectives are almost same which we have discussed already in subsidy. We have discussed already in detail. Okay, so this is objective why this was initiated. Now who fixes this price? CSCP actually is the advisory body. To mention this thing, these prices are fixed by the central government. Which is the main body who take major economic decisions of central government? Central government, main body in bracket, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Central government in bracket, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, CCEA. Even last year it was asked who fixes MSP. So it is CCEA, means central government. Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, CCEA. A Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Who is head of this Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs? Prime Minister is head, and some important ministers are members of CCEA. So all important economic decisions in the country are taken by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. This is also an important decision, especially politically very important decision. So that is why CCEA takes this decision. And so these prices are fixed by central government in bracket CCEA on the recommendation of, in the same sentence, on the recommendation of the Commission for Agricultural Costs, COSTS, costs and prices. Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. CACP. Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. CACP. So this is the body which gave recommendation. Acha, CACP was established in 1965. So it was established in 1965. But in 1965, its name was Agricultural Prices Commission. It was established in 1965 as Agricultural Prices Commission, APC. It was established in 1965 as Agricultural Prices Commission, APC. Then later in mid-80s, its name changed to CACP. It's advisory only. It just gives suggestion that MSP of wheat and rice, etc. will be this much and procurement price should be this much. So just actually advisory. Final decision is taken by central government. Sometimes central government also discuss with the states also, or some agriculture organizations, what should be the prices. But decision is taken by central government. Although consultations are usually held. Okay, so in 1965, this policy started in 1965 when APC was set up. Then later in mid-80s, it was renamed as CACP. The CACP takes into account various factors before recommending prices like market prices, demand and supply situation, import prices, cost of production, or you may mention this thing also, CACP recommends support prices for various crops on the basis of various factors. On the basis of various factors like prevailing market price, demand and supply situation, various factors like prevailing prices, demand and supply situation, cost of production, return to farmers, etc. Even there are various concepts of cost, C1, C2, C3. Like these, it will first include only cost. Sometimes it will include implicit cost of labor. Sometimes it may include some return of farmer or investment also. So various types of concepts of cost are there. So it takes into account various factors actually before recommending price, and then finally central government fixes price. And in this policy, two types of prices are fixed. What are the two types of prices? As I have told you, MSP and procurement price. So before going further, we shall discuss the difference between minimum support price and procurement price. Minimum support price and procurement price. Okay, now you have to tell me what is basic difference. Minimum support price and procurement price. Acha, what is procurement? In meaning of procurement? Procurement means purchase. So purchase price. Okay, so in English meaning, but you cannot write purchase price. Name is procurement price. What the way it is name? So procurement price. Acha, so what is difference between minimum support price and procurement price? No, I'm talking about basic difference. I'm not asking when it is announced. It is announced before sowing season. It is later. No, I'm not asking that. I'm not asking it is more or less than market price. You are saying MSP is usually below market price. What is the difference? Basic kya difference? Yes. इस पे नहीं परचेज होती. This is the price that is grains are purchased. I am not asking objective. Objective both का security है. तो basic difference. Yes, purchase. Both are purchase price. Aim I am not asking him. I told you only. Basic difference क्या है? MSP or procurement price. When it is announced what is objective, it is below or above. I am not asking that. So I am asking what is basic difference. Products तो few होते ही हैं, दोनों में few है. Products दोनों में few है, सबका नहीं होता है. Helping तो दोनों ही help करते हैं, directly help करते हैं. Difference is that कि here government guarantees to buy unlimited quantity, whatever you want you can sell, and here government will buy whatever government need. Targeted procurement, and here open ended, जितना चाहो बेच दो. What the point? So write down this MSP. It is the price at which government guarantees to purchase. Price at which government guarantees to purchase unlimited quantity. Government guarantees to purchase unlimited quantity of an agricultural commodity. Unlimited quantity of an agricultural commodity. So government guarantees to purchase unlimited quantity. That is, it is called open-ended procurement. Open-ended. Open-ended procurement. I think what the point? Achha, if the price is open-ended, then it means open-ended means any amount you can sell. Then can we say market price can be below MSP? No, because everybody will sell to government. So it is least price. Okay. Now write down here procurement price. Procurement price mention that it is the price at which government government purchases. It is the price at which government purchases a predetermined quantity. Government purchases a predetermined quantity of an agricultural commodity. Purchase predetermined quantity of an agricultural commodity. Predetermined quantity of an agricultural commodity. For why government need to purchase? For two purposes.
For distribution through PDS.
Yes, and one more. Buffer stock. For maintaining buffer stocks. For maintaining buffer stocks and distribution through PDS. For maintaining buffer stocks and distribution through PDS. So here government will buy a limited quantity, whatever government may think we need for maintaining buffer stock and for selling through PDS. So these are the use. So here predetermined quantity, it is called targeted procurement. Targeted. Targeted procurement. So it is open-ended, here targeted. I think what the point? Achha, now how many crops for MSP is announced for how many crops? 23 crops. Achha, but sometime it is said that it is announced for 24 crops. Actually MSP is only for 23 crops, but for one crop plus one, that is called fair and remunerative price, FRP. Only for one crop, that is sugarcane. Fair and remunerative price. For sugarcane, there is fair and remunerative price. And for other crops like wheat, rice, two types of paddy, some pulses, oil seeds, there is MSP. 23 crops are there. Okay. Achha, why not for all crops? First of all, why MSP is not announced? So do you think it is important to protect farmers? Yes. So why not for all crops? I told you in chapter 1 itself. Why MSP is not announced for all crops? Because still in some crops like potato, tomato, there is a lot of volatility. Why not for potato, tomato? Two reasons I told you. One thing is that if government would announce for tomato, potato, where government would keep? because cold storage are required. Government don't have so much cold storage, that will lead to wastage. One problem. Second, these are not crucial for food security, but wheat, rice, pulses, oil seeds are important for food security. So government announces for those 23 crops which could be stored and means which are durable somewhat and which are crucial for food security. Achha, and what is fair and remunerative price? It is only for sugarcane. So what is difference in both are almost similar, MSP and FRP. Price also cannot fall below FRP. But what is main difference? Actually, this FRP, who buy sugarcane? Not government, central government. Rather, it is bought by sugar mills. So it is for sugar mills to pay at least this much price. Sometimes state may add some to that also. Usually states add something. That is usually called statutory minimum price. Though both actually ensures that minimum this money will be there. So state may add its own also, and it may then lead to statutory minimum price (SMP). Okay, so both are somewhat similar. These are announced by central government. Okay, so state may add something to FRP also. Achha, here sugar mill owners have to pay, not central government. Okay, so got the point here. So for 23 or broadly we can say 24 crops, MSP. Achha, it is announced for on the basis of common sense. Need? On the basis of need. Let's suppose if government is already having enough wheat in its godowns, so do you think government would announce this? Government will not buy. It depends on need. So whichever, actually it is need based. So whatever crop government need to buy, government will announce, and government will fix the quantity also. Okay, this much quantity will buy and at this rate. So it will vary from year to year. No fixed crops. I think what's the point? So
this procurement of food grains is over and above the items procured by MSP.
No, the thing is that in the last few years, I'm just giving practical example. MSP was very high, so production of wheat and rice was already very high. Government has to buy huge quantity, and government's godowns are overflowing with wheat and rice. Do you think government would announce procurement price for wheat and rice? No. पहले से इतना है. MSP पे खरीदना इतना पड़ गया. And there is no need to announce this. So government is not announcing this of wheat and rice because already at MSP government has to buy huge quantity. Got the point? Now, central government. Achha, next is state government may add some bonus over that. Okay, government is paying this much rupee, we will pay 1 rupee extra. So state government may announce bonus over that. Achha, another central government ka matlab obviously I told you ki CCE. Achha, here it serves as floor price. So I have already told you, just mentioned, it serves as floor in bracket least price. Why? It serves as floor price. Why? क्यों नीचे नहीं आ सकता? क्योंकि nobody will sell in market then. So and got the point? And it is usually fixed above market price or below market price. It is usually fixed below market price. जैसे 10 होता है हमने बताया 6 पे गवर्नमेंट करेगी. तो also mention the same point. It is usually fixed below. It is usually fixed below the market price, below the market price. So it is floor. कि market price means cannot be below that. तो below ही होता है तो ये least है. इससे नीचे नहीं जाएगा. अच्छा. And what is it is fixed at what rate? Above, equal, or can it be below market price? Yes or no? Why not? Nobody will sell to government. In market, if let's suppose price is 16 rupee for wheat, government is saying we will buy in 14. Nobody will sell to government. So it is not possible to. But can it be above? Yes. So mention that it is close to market price. It is close to market price. Just sometime if market price is low, let's suppose, then government will fix it equal to market price or above or below. Below तो होगा ही नहीं, तो above fix करेगा. अच्छा, if price is already on higher side, then government will fix it at market price only. So that actually farmers should get, if price is already high, so there's no need to increase it further. So then it will be same. And if it is market price are actually low this year, so government will say at least whatever we are buying, we should give reasonable price to farmer. So got the point? Close to market price. And this is below market price. Achha, next point. At what time this is announced? Achha, before, it is announced before sowing season. Why? It is announced before sowing season. Why? The reason is that if farmer has grown the crop, if after that government will announce, so what is the benefit? The objective is to give up in advance assurance. Don't worry, you will get, as I said, price actually is maybe usually 10 rupee. Now supply may increase, in a particular price may reduce to 2 rupee. Now farmer may be apprehensive. So this kind of assurance should be given after sowing or before sowing? Before sowing. That is the reason. Got the point here? Achha, and it is announced at what time? Could it be announced before sowing? Yes or no? Why not? Not exactly. Why it cannot be announced before sowing? What may be the problem? No. No. Why it is announced before? Why it cannot be announced before sowing? To some extent. What is the main reason? Why cannot announce before sowing? The question is very simple. When government has to buy, actually government would buy at what time? At the time of harvest. And if government might have announced before sowing season, after harvest price may be higher. Government might have announced 16 rupee for wheat, but this year price may be 20 rupee in mandi. Do you think anybody will sell to government? So should it be announced before sowing? No. So at what time? When government has to buy? At the time of harvest. To mention that it is announced at the time of harvest. It is announced at the time of harvest. It is announced at the time of harvest. Logic is clear. Why at the time of harvest? Another, this is what is main objective, to protect or interest directly, to protect interest of farmer or consumer or both here. Directly. Farmers. So, to mention this, it seeks to protect interest of farmers. It seeks to protect interest of farmers, especially in case of, can we say crop failure or bumper crop? Crop failure पे protect करेगा या bumper crop पे करेगा? ये दोनों में एक ऑप्शन हो रहा है. मतलब it will protect interest of farmers in case of crop failure or when in case of overproduction or in both the cases. In not both the cases, only in case of overproduction. Bumper crop है. Especially in case of bumper crop. Bumper crop मतलब overproduction. Especially in case of bumper crop. अच्छा, crop failure में price MSP से कम होगा क्या? No, price will be higher, so it won't be of any use. In case of crop failure, there won't be any. It will not cover production risk. It should be very clear. It should cover marketing risk, price risk. तो crop failure पे need नहीं होगी इसकी. तो overproduction में help करेगा. And here it will protect interest of farmer or consumer or both. Both. क्योंकि price it will be low, then farmers may lose. If price may be high, then consumers may suffer. So mention this thing कि it protects interests of farmers and consumers. Protects interests of farmers and consumers. Okay, so I think got the point. What is difference between MSP and this price? In India, government actually, especially in case of wheat and rice, government increased MSP significantly, and it was above market price. So MSP of wheat and rice, the main problem was that issue is this MSP of wheat and rice actually increased significantly. So MSP of wheat and rice increased significantly, and it was usually it was above market price. Increased rather to above market price. So it means that, can we say MSP started serving as procurement price? It's because government was purchasing on this for normal purpose, PDS, etc. So MSP actually supposed to just give security to farmers in case of means bumper crop when price will fall. But government has started buying wheat and rice from farmers in normal conditions as well. So this created a problem. What problem? As I told you, MSP of wheat and rice will increase, then production of wheat and rice, increase. Acha, and production of other crops decrease. Acha, when production of this would increase, then government, because MSP is the price at which government has to buy unlimited quantity. So what will happen? Procurement by FCI will increase or not? So when this increase, then procurement by Food Corporation of India. Achha, MSP who actually purchase on behalf of government? I told you that government guarantees to purchase unlimited quantity. So which government body purchase this from farmers? FCI, Food Corporation of India. So procurement by FCI increase, Food Corporation of India. So government has to buy. Achha, and who maintains buffer stocks? FCI itself. So what happens? FCI has to buy a huge amount, then ultimately it has to keep in stock. So buffer stocks increased. So buffer stocks, we maintain buffer stock of wheat and rice. So whatever was the buffer stock norm in the last 5-7 years, so overall on an average buffer stocks were more than double of the norm. So buffer stocks increase. Achha, since more than double they were keeping, it means that the stock they were keeping would be more than capacity. Then they made makeshift arrangement, and makeshift arrangement would lead to what? Wastage. So because of huge buffer stock norms, wastage. On the one hand, wastage. On the other hand, government resources were held up here because government has to pay money to buy this wheat. So it actually increase fiscal burden. Because government has to pay money to farmers. So government, so on the one hand, fiscal burden increase on government means fiscal deficit will be affected by this, and wastage actually also increase because of this thing. Apart from that, since production of wheat and rice increased more, so procurement was of mainly these crops. So the farmers who were growing these crops benefited more. So, and these are actually produced mainly in which regions? Punjab, Haryana. So what happened because of this thing? This regional disparities increased. So the farmers who are growing these crops, they benefited much more as compared to other farmers. So it means that even inequalities increase in general, especially regional inequalities increase. Apart from that, this and this thing and this thing shows what? Cropping pattern distorted. So distortion in cropping pattern. Distortion in cropping pattern. Or in other words, it means that crop diversification reduced, because in these areas which are appropriate for producing wheat and rice, they started only producing wheat and rice. So what happens? Crop diversification reduced. Crop diversification reduced. It affected fertility also, salination, etc., excessive use of resources. And because of this thing, because they are more resource intensive, especially irrigation, so what happens actually, it leads to depletion of resources, because overproduction of these things, they are highly resource intensive, especially water and even fertilizers. Depletion of resources. So because overproduction of this, these are highly resource intensive crops, so it lead to depletion of resources. Crop diversification reduced, and fertility of soil was also affected. Apart from that, because of this reason and this reason, food inflation. Because wheat and rice was produced more, but that was bought and kept in godown. Okay, so in market, the supply of wheat and rice didn't increase much, but production of other crops reduced. So would it lead to food inflation or not? Because production of these crops increased, but that is kept in godown. Okay, so supply actually didn't increase much here, but here supply reduced overall. So it lead to food inflation, because whatever is produced, that is kept in godown of FCI, and other crops production reduced, so it lead to food inflation. Okay, these problems were created by This food inflation because production of other crops reduce. So when supply of anything will reduce, then prices are expected to go up. As prices are volatile, so obviously if they are volatile, so there will be minor demand change in demand and supply. They will change. As the production of these crops increase, but these were kept in go down, not sold in the market, because government has to procure most of them. Depletion of resources means that these crops require much water and even fertilizers. So what happened actually, the means use of water and fertilizers increase. So resources actually depleted, like water table. The most important resources, water here. The water table actually means reduced significantly in the last few years, or rather decades. I think what the point. The main problem was this. What are finally issues? Regional disparities increase, resource depletion, crop diversification actually affected, food inflation also, wastage, excessive holding, and government's funds were held up. So these problems were created by this policy. I think what is the point? So these were the problems. Then what should be done now? The most important remedy is that what was the reason for this? Why this happened? Because of mainly political reason. This situation was worsened by state government. For example, central government saying, okay, we will pay you 16 rupee per kg for wheat, but state government may add 1 rupee bonus. So what will happen? They will get 17. So would it make a significant difference or not? Or whatever is additional bonus, that will entirely be profit, or cost is already incurred. So because of this additional bonus by state governments, so it further distorted this thing. Although state government has to pay 1 rupee, but 16 rupee of center would be held up here. So this bonus by state government worsened the situation. So that cost was borne by center. So these problems were there. Okay, so rather what should be done? Obviously, these are highly resource intensive crops, so we should make judicious use of this first of all. Apart from that, there should be a balance, like crop rotation means diversification is very important. So government should actually promote other crops, especially like pulses. The most important thing is pulse. Why pulses and oil seeds? Reason is that they are less resource intensive. So in long run, actually, they are more desirable. Apart from that, other benefit is that there are social benefits of that. Like in case of pulses, the pulses actually means they naturally fix nitrogen in soil. They make soil more porous. So they rather increase fertility of soil and consume less resources. So there are a lot of, in last year's economic survey, there was a chapter on that. And they said government should consider externalities also, or social benefits also of pulses. They are less intensive, water intensive, and they are less, actually they make increase fertility of soil, make soil more porous. And so there are some lot of externalities and social benefits of growing pulses. So government should consider that also in MSP. So, and our import bill will also reduce because we are importing significant quantity of pulses. So, these means this is the main flaw in this policy. Then government set up one committee, Shanta Kumar committee. So it gave some recommendations. Now we'll discuss few recommendations of that committee. Name of the committee was High Level Committee on restructuring of Food Corporation of India. It gave report in 2015. Chairman was Shanta Kumar. So chairman was Mr. Shanta Kumar. So Shanta Kumar was former Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh. This committee, although it was on restructuring of Food Corporation of India, but it should be clear that Food Corporation of India is actually the nodal agency of government, which deals with entire food supply management. So, for example, FCI actually means procurement is done. This price policy is operationalized by FCI, because FCI purchase actually at MSP or procurement price on behalf of government. It maintains buffer stock. It operationalizes PDS also, like ration shop system. So FCI is the core agency in this. So although the recommendations were on FCI, but these recommendations dealt various aspects. They dealt some aspects of price actually policy, Procurement is related with price policy. At what price you are buying, that is procurement policy. Transportation, distribution, maintaining buffer stocks, PDS. So these actually things, this committee covered various aspects of FCI, various functions of FCI. So one of the function of FCI is procurement and operationalizing the price policy. So we'll discuss recommendations on that aspect. So when we discuss buffer stock, so we'll discuss that buffer stock. When we discuss PDS, then we'll see some of the recommendations of this committee on this. So it gave very important recommendations to restructure this and overcome the problems here in supply chain, food supply chain. Okay, so write down few recommendations. The most important recommendation is that better support price operations for pulses. Better support price operations for pulses and oil seeds. And link their MSP policy. Link their MSP policy with trade policy. Link their MSP policy with trade policy, so that their landed in bracket imported, so that their landed in bracket imported costs are not below their MSP. Landed slash in bracket imported costs are not below their MSP. Okay, so first of all, instead of increasing this, so pulses and oil seeds are very important because we are importing pulses and oil seeds, and there are social benefits also. They are less resource intensive both. So it said that MSP of pulse and oil seed should be increased by government. And one thing is this: MSP should be increased so that there should be encouragement for this crop. Second aspect in this is that trade policy and MSP policy should be linked, so that government should trade policy means imposing custom duties on import and export and other restrictions. So these policy, MSP policy and trade policy, should be linked, so that government should ensure that the price of imported pulse or oil seed will be above MSP. Sorry, MSP means should be above MSP. Yes. So why? So it means that more custom duty should be imposed or less on import of more custom duty. So the import landed cost in India, the imported cost of imported pulse should be expensive than MSP. So first of all, MSP should be increased. It should be clear. MSP should be increased, and that its custom duty should be imposed in such a manner that the imported cost should be higher than even that MSP. Got the point? Why? What may be the problem? If imported cost may be lesser than MSP, people will keep on importing. Then MSP may not be operational as such. People will start importing only. So it means that there should be encouragement to buy from India rather than from import. And in India also, MSP should be increased, so that it should give reasonable incentive to increase production of pulse, and this, and incentive for import should reduce. I think got the point. So trade policy should be linked with this policy. So, and government should ensure that never imported price should be lower, so that there should not be any incentive to actually buy. Obviously, if domestic, first of all, people prefer if domestic prices are low, relatively low means, so that people buy from India. Now, when entire stock is over, then only they will import at a higher price. Got the point? So it will not discourage domestic production. Next point. The FCI should hand over procurement operations of wheat and rice to the states which have adequate infrastructure. which have adequate infrastructure. So in other words, it means that decentralization should be there. Like instead of FCI purchasing and storing, FCI normally in case of PDS, what happens? FCI purchase and store, and then it again give it to state for distribution. Because in case of PDS, ration shops, distribution is made by state governments, and procurement storage is made by center, means FCI. It said why you are just keeping unnecessary spending so much money, and rather you should allow states, you should decentralize. Although to some extent government also decentralized, means states were allowed to procure. So it said that FCI should, in those states where states have infrastructure, like in relatively developed states where more procurement is there, especially like in Punjab, Haryana. So why you are procuring? You should allow state to procure, and it would reduce cost and allow them to procure, etc. Instead of doing it actually by FCI, it is better that central government will provide that money, whatever cost incurred by state government, that will be cheaper. So it will better that they will store, means purchase, store and distribute in PDS, and central government should directly pay means money to state government rather than spending money on FCI. And rather what it said, FCI should focus more on which states which are actually where they are small farmers, where they are selling at much below MSP. Because you know MSP is the price at which government guarantees to buy in limited quantity, and as we have discussed, price cannot be below MSP. But do you think practically price can never be below MSP? Practically, the thing is that you in every mandi government FCI is ready to buy. No, FCI don't have actually this procurement center in every mandi. So in those mandis where FCI is not going to buy, so where farmer can sell. So farmers don't have option to sell. Especially in like in Haryana, Punjab, so lot of actually farmers are selling. So FCI has go down. But in other states like Orissa, Bihar and other states where production of these like crop is relatively less, so FCI usually don't have go down in all the mandis. So farmers there, they have to sell even much below at MSP. So it said that you should actually, rather than the states which are already developed, to delegate it to states, and you should move to those states where farmers actually they face from distress sale at the prices which are below MSP. To mention this thing, the FCI should move on helping those states. The FCI should move on helping those states which suffer from distress sale, at prices much below MSP. At prices much below MSP, and which are dominated by small holdings, So FCI should means move to those states, means instead of having more procurement centers in developed state, it should set up more procurement center in some backward state where farmers don't have much to sell. Normally, why FCI is having more procurement center in surplus areas? Because they can easily buy from large farmers. But who need more support? Like the large farmer or small farmers? Small farmer. So it means that if FCI is not having procurement center in especially mandis where not much farmers have surplus, so do you think those farmers who have some minor surplus, so would they get MSP? No. So can we say practically price can be below MSP or not? Yes. So it means that this price policy will not be operational until and unless FCI is having procurement center in all vulnerable mandis. Yes or no? So now practically we see, so in few mandis it can get actually in like mainly Haryana, Punjab, they'll get most of the means quantity which they want to buy. Practically and economically it is feasible. But for operationalizing PDS, do you think every farmer should be given this opportunity to sell it to government at MSP? Yes. And farmer will get opportunity only if FCI will have some procurement center in that mandi. So it said that you should have procurement center in every mandi, especially where the land holdings are small, where farmers are actually weak, and sometimes where prices are below MSP. I think got the point. Next point. In case of bonus, in case of any bonus given by state governments, in case of any bonus given by state governments on top of MSP, in case of any bonus given by state governments on top of MSP, the FCI should not accept top of MSP. The FCI should not accept grains, beyond the quantity needed. FCI should not accept grains beyond the quantity needed for its PDS and other welfare schemes. PDS and other welfare schemes. So in case of bonus, if let us suppose if bonus is given, so I told you that this situation was worsened by bonus. So state government used to put bonus, and so if state government is giving additional bonus, do you think would it further distort production pattern or not? And ultimately at MSP, government has to buy unlimited quantity. So that bonus is worsening that situation or not? Yes. So it said that if state government is giving bonus, then you should say, okay, we will not buy beyond the requirement of your state only. Got the point? Because that excessive buying from that state will lead to this overflowing of stocks. So if the state government are giving bonus, so leave it to state. Okay, you are giving bonus, now you should purchase. But we will purchase at the most whatever is required for your PDS, means public distribution system, and for other welfare scheme like midday meal scheme. So in some other schemes, food grains are given. So only for your need, for states, your need of PDS and other welfare scheme, you'll buy only that, not beyond that. I think got the point. Why? Because otherwise, if you will buy beyond that, then the bonus will distort situation. Over stocking and wastage would actually increase. I think it is clear. So these are some recommendations of this committee. Achha, apart from that, for stabilization of prices, in 2015, government set up this price stabilization fund. Price stabilization fund. Okay, so recommendations are now over. Achha, one general recommendation is that overall the main problem started because of what? Because of increase in MSP of wheat and rice. So government should actually moderate this increase or reduce the price of this. And MSP should not be above the market price. It should be below market price. So this is a general recommendation which is recommended by other committees as well. Achha, now apart from that, for stabilizing prices, related to price policy is one term. Although government set up one committee on pulses also, we'll discuss actually in economic survey, we'll discuss that. Achha, so price stabilization fund related with a price policy. So it was established in 2015. So mention that it was established in 2015 for stabilizing prices of selected agricultural and horticultural commodities. Horticulture like fruits, vegetables. So agriculture and horticulture commodities. So a separate fund is created. So how price will be stabilized? Like if in case of shortage, government would buy and may stock and hold stock and then sell. In case of in case of excess, government will buy, and in case of means shortage, government will start selling. So mention this thing. Okay. Under this, government agencies like FCI and NAFED, NAFED, FCI, NAFED, etc. buys and sells and exports and imports agricultural commodities to reduce fluctuation in the prices. To reduce fluctuation in the prices. For example, if prices are going, for example, in the case of overproduction, prices are going down. So what they will do? They will start buying or import or export. They will export. So means they will buy and keep some stock, as well as they will start exporting. And in case of when prices are going up, they will start importing or releasing from stock. So they will actually buy and keep stock, and sometimes they will sell. Under this scheme, government also set up one buffer stock for pulses. So earlier we had only buffer stock of wheat and rice. So when we say buffer stock, normally we mean wheat and rice. So under this scheme only, some not a major but minor buffer stock of pulses is also maintained. Also mentioned under the scheme, a buffer stock of 2 million ton of pulses was created in 2016. Buffer stock of 2 million ton. Million ton means 2 million ton means 20 lakh ton. So 1 million means 10 lakh. So 2 million ton or 20 lakh ton was established in 2016. Means last year government created one buffer stock of pulses also. So 2 lakh ton or 20 lakh ton, or we can say 2 million ton pulses will be stored. Initially it was price stabilization function. This was done for pulses and onions. For onions and potato. Then initially in 2015, in 2016 this buffer stock for pulses is also created. So it depending on volatility in a price of a particular commodity, it could be used. This fund could be used. So for agriculture and horticulture commodities. So this is also a kind of price intervention. So this is related with price policy. Okay, so got the point here. What is price policy? What are issues? And these suggestions we have discussed of this committee. As I told you, the Shanta Kumar committee is very important. That is why it gave recommendations on various aspects. Like when we discuss buffer stocking, we'll discuss on that movement and PDS, etc. We'll discuss separately. So even if there is no question on Shanta Kumar committee, if you say what should be done, so you can put these recommendations. Okay, price of MSP of these wheat should be reduced and pulses should be increased, and trade policy should be linked. And to make the policy of this price policy operational, FCI should have actually its procurement centers in especially vulnerable means areas, in those mandis where farmers are small, etc. By and large, these were accepted. The government has actually moderated these. When the government has not recently increased MSP for wheat and rice further, but MSP of pulses has increased. So means by and large these recommendations are accepted.